He told me, "I only used the money because I didn't want her to go to jail. You wouldn't want that on your conscience, right?" By the money, he meant our wedding fund. By her, he meant his ex. So yeah, my fiancé secretly drained our wedding savings to pay off his ex-girlfriend's debt, and then called me selfish for being upset. Before I tell you the full story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. If you want more long, insane Reddit-style relationship stories like this one. Alright, buckle up. I'm 28 and my ex-fiancé, let's call him Ryan, is 30. We met 4 years ago at a mutual friend's game night. He was the guy who made sure everyone had a drink, helped clean up at the end, and always walked people to their cars. He was thoughtful, charming in a quiet way, and very "I want to build a future" coded. I was just starting my career in marketing, he was already stable in IT. We took things slow at first. Dates every weekend. Long calls during the week. The usual, "I can't believe I found someone normal" phase. About 2 years in, we started talking seriously about the future. Marriage, kids, where we'd live, what we wanted our lives to look like. He always said, "I want us to do it right. No crazy debt, no chaos. We'll plan everything. We'll be a team." That line, "we'll be a team," became kind of our thing. So when he proposed at the end of year 3, I said yes without hesitation. He talked to my parents first, picked a ring style I actually liked, and even chose a spot that meant something, the park where we had our first real "what are we" conversation. It felt like every Pinterest board I'd ever made had come to life. One of the first big decisions we made as an engaged couple was to start a wedding fund. We didn't want to go into credit card debt or take out loans. So we sat down with spreadsheets and coffee and made a plan. Each month we'd both put a set amount into a joint savings account. That account would be only for the wedding. We'd keep it separate from other savings so we didn't accidentally spend it. He was the one who suggested, "Let's both have access, but we agree neither of us touches it without the other knowing." Non-negotiable. Deal. I remember how safe that felt. We were planning a life together, making responsible decisions, being adults. We started tiny. First month, a couple $100, then more as we adjusted our budgets. We cut back on eating out, I stopped randomly buying decor, he downgraded a couple subscriptions. We even made a shared Google sheet where we updated the balance every month. He'd proudly say, "Look at us. We're actually doing it. We're going to have the wedding we want. Not what our bank account traps us into." It was cute. Really was. Enter the ex. Her name is Lily. They dated for a few years in college and a bit after. When we first got together, he mentioned her in passing. We were way too young. It was intense but messy. We're civil now, but we're not friends or anything. Okay, cool. Everyone has a past, right? I knew she existed. I'd seen 1 or 2 old photos on social media he hadn't scrubbed, but nothing suspicious. Once we got engaged, though, her name started popping up more often. Not constantly, but like too often for my taste. "Oh, Lily used to work in finance. Lily's great at numbers. She'd love this budgeting system. Lily had a similar dress pinned back when we talked about weddings." Little things like that. I'd ask, "Do you still talk to her?" He always answered the same way. "Barely. We're just connected on social. We don't chat or anything. She's in the past. You're my future." It was a rehearsed line, but at the time I let it go. Fast forward about 8 months into our engagement. We'd saved a good chunk, enough for the venue deposit, photographer, and about half of the catering estimate. We hadn't paid anything yet because we were still finalizing dates, but just knowing that money was there felt like relief. One Friday night, we were at his mom's house for dinner. She's one of those people who loves drama as long as it's not hers. Between bites of lasagna, she casually dropped this. "Did you hear about Lily? She's in some kind of trouble. Money stuff. Poor thing." I looked up. "What kind of trouble?" I asked. His mom shrugged. clearly delighted to be the news anchor. I don't know all the details. Something about debt and creditors calling her. She posted something really vague online. She's always been a bit impulsive with money. Ryan's jaw tightened. He put his fork down. She'll figure it out, he said quickly. She always does. I noticed he wouldn't look at me for the rest of dinner. On the drive home, I asked, "Everything okay?" He gave me the standard. "Yeah, just tired. Long week." So I let it go. Big mistake. About 2 weeks later, we finally picked a tentative wedding date. We were excited. We had a mood board, a venue shortlist. I'd even found a photographer on Instagram whose style we both loved. We sat down at my kitchen table, opened my laptop, and I said, "Okay, let's see how much we've got in the wedding fund and start plugging in numbers." He grabbed his phone. "I'll log in, the app's faster." He typed his password, glanced at the screen, and I saw his whole expression change. Not panic, not shock, more like that mini flinch you get when you're caught off guard and don't want anyone to notice. I asked, "What's the balance?" He hesitated a second too long. I'll double check on the computer later. The app's glitchy right now," he said, flipping the phone face down. Instant red flag. "Let me see," I said, reaching for the phone. He pulled it back out of reach. "Hey, can we not start the night with money stress? Let's just dream for a minute. We'll figure the actual numbers out later." The thing is, we'd never been weird about money until that moment. We'd literally spent hours talking budgets before. Suddenly, he wanted to just dream. My gut screamed something is wrong. I said, "Ryan, unlock the account and tell me the number." He sighed long and dramatic. "Why are you making a thing out of this?" I said, "I'll check later." My voice got quieter, not louder. "Because it's our account," I said. "And I don't like being shut out of something we're supposed to be equal in." There was a full 10 seconds of staring before he reluctantly turned the phone so I could see. The balance was about half of what it should have been. I felt like someone had punched me straight in the chest. We both knew the number we should have been at. We updated it together every month. I swallowed. "Where did the rest go?" He rubbed his face. "I moved some of it. It's not gone, okay? I'll put it back." He said it like he'd just borrowed $20 from my wallet, not like he'd taken thousands from the fund for the event we'd been planning for almost a year. My voice shook. "Moved it where?" Silence. He wouldn't answer. So I did the thing I really didn't want to do. I pressed. "Did you use our wedding fund for something without telling me?" He exploded. "Can you not interrogate me right now? I had to make a decision fast, all right? I didn't have time for a committee meeting." Committee meeting. That's how he referred to both of us being involved in major financial decisions. It took 2 hours, 3 arguments, and me threatening to call the bank myself before the truth came out. He'd used the money to pay off Lily's debt. Not a little bit. Most of what we'd saved. Apparently she was in deep. Credit cards maxed. Late fees piling up. Collections calling. Possible legal action. She'd messaged him just to ask for advice. They'd started talking and then, "It got bad, okay?" he said, pacing the living room. Collectors were calling her. She was panicking. She said she might lose her apartment. She was talking about not wanting to be alive if everything crashed. I couldn't just do nothing. I stared at him. "So you took our wedding savings and paid her debt? Without even telling me." He threw his hands up. "I protected her. She was drowning. You wouldn't have understood." I laughed. Came out sharp and ugly. "I wouldn't have understood that you were secretly bailing out your ex with money we saved for our wedding? Yeah, you're right, I don't really understand that." He gritted his teeth. "Do you hear yourself? You're making this all about you when someone else was in crisis." "Yes," I said. "I am making it about me. Because you used my money too. Because I skipped trips and dinners and small joys for that account. You used my sacrifices to rescue your ex. How is that not about me?" He snapped back. I always knew you had a selfish streak. That sentence hit harder than anything else he said that night. The more I asked, the worse it got. I asked, why her? Why is it your job to save her? He said, because I know her. She's not like you, she doesn't come from a stable family, she doesn't have a support system. Money stuff buries people like her. You have your parents, you have a good job. You'll be fine, even if we have to delay the wedding a bit. So now I was what? The privileged, stable one who shouldn't complain? He went on. I told myself I'd transfer it back before you even noticed. I just needed to shut down the worst of her debt to buy her time. Buy her time with our future, I said quietly. He looked at me like I was the unreasonable one. You're acting like I cheated on you. I stared at him. You took the money we saved for a wedding and secretly handed it to the woman you almost married before me, I said. Honestly, feels pretty close. The next few days were a blur. He slept at his mom's one night to cool off. I went between sobbing and staring at walls. Wedding Pinterest boards suddenly looked ridiculous. He texted these half apologies. I'm sorry you're upset. I didn't mean to hurt you. I just panicked. But never once. I was wrong to do this. 2 days later, his mom called me. I thought maybe she'd be on my side. No. She opened with, Honey, I heard about the whole money situation. You really need to have some compassion. I held the phone tighter. Compassion for who? I asked. Because the only one who lost anything here is me. She tooted. Lily has always had a hard life. Her family never helped her. She made some bad choices, but she's not a bad person. Ryan told me she was in real trouble. He couldn't just let her go under. That's not who he is. He also couldn't just not empty our wedding fund behind my back, I said. She sighed. It's just money. You two are young, you can save it again. But a record court debt collectors, that kind of thing can destroy a life. Don't punish him for having a good heart. Just money. Sure. Just the thing I'd spent a year working late and cutting corners for. Just the concrete proof that we were building something together. I ended that call as politely as I could and sat in silence for a long time. Eventually, I told Ryan we needed to sit down and have a serious talk. No yelling, no drama, just reality. We met in my living room. I'd written down a list of questions because I didn't trust my brain not to short-circuit. Exactly how much did you transfer to her? Do you expect her to pay you back? Have you made some kind of long-term agreement with her? Do you still have feelings for her? Do you understand that you broke my trust? He started defensive. Why does the amount matter? It's gone. It helped. That's what's important. I didn't budge. He finally admitted he'd sent her almost everything above a small emergency cushion. No repayment plan. No written agreement. Just a helping hand. I told her if and when she's back on her feet, she can pay me back, he said. But I'm not going to hound her. That defeats the point. So we weren't just out the money. We were out the money and expected to be okay if it never came back. I asked, do you understand that you broke our agreement? You promised we'd never touch that account without talking to each other. You promised we'd be a team. He rolled his eyes. I made a call in an emergency. That's not betrayal, that's being human. You made 2 calls, I said. One to your ex for her bank information, and one to the bank to move our money. Neither of those calls were to me. That's the betrayal. I watched him shut down. He crossed his arms. So what, you're going to call off the entire wedding over this? Because I refused to let someone drown. I said, I'm thinking about calling off the wedding because I realized you don't actually see me as your teammate. I'm the safe one you can steal from to rescue someone else. He scoffed. You're being dramatic. That word again. Dramatic. Selfish. Overreacting. Funny how those labels always land on the person who got screwed. I didn't decide overnight. I spent a week writing pros and cons lists, talking to a therapist, crying in my car on lunch breaks. The therapist asked me something that cut through the noise. If this exact situation happened to a close friend of yours, what advice would you give her? I didn't even hesitate. I'd tell her not to marry him. Silence. Then she asked, "So why is your standard lower for yourself?" That question sat in my chest like a stone. I thought about the future. What happens when we're saving for a house and his brother has a business idea? What happens when our kid wants to go to college and Lily has another meltdown? What happens every time someone from his past has a crisis? Would my life always be the piggy bank he could smash to solve someone else's mess? Eventually, the answer was clear. I called off the wedding. When I told him, he genuinely looked shocked. We were sitting at the same table where we'd once planned our future. "I can't marry you," I said. "Not after this. Not knowing you'll prioritize someone else's emergency over our foundation. Not knowing you'll make huge financial decisions in secret and then blame me for reacting." He stared at me like I'd slapped him. "You're serious?" "Yes," I said. He got angry fast. "So I'm the bad guy because I helped someone? You're willing to throw away our entire relationship because I couldn't watch her get crushed by debt." "I'm not mad that you wanted to help someone in need," I said. "I'm mad that you used our money without asking, lied by omission, and then gaslit me when I noticed. I'm not marrying someone I can't trust." He shook his head. "You're making a huge mistake. No one else is going to care about you the way I do." I looked at him and realized something. He really believed that. He genuinely thought that what he did was proof of his big heart, not his complete disregard for boundaries. I gave him back the ring. His mother called me, furious. "You're really going to humiliate him like this? Over money? You're proving you never loved him." I said, "If he loved me, he wouldn't have treated our wedding savings like spare change." Then I blocked her. Few months went by. Focused on work, friends, sleeping through the night without waking up to anxiety. I unfollowed all wedding content, gave away some decor, and slowly detached my future from his name. Then, like clockwork, the updates started. First from a mutual friend. "Hey, just so you know, Lily's bragging online about being debt-free and blessed to have good people in her life. No mention of you, obviously." I bit my tongue. Later. "Also, she apparently booked a trip to Mexico to celebrate a fresh start." Mexico. With the money that was supposed to pay for my venue and photographer. I wanted to be surprised. I wasn't. Then another update. "You didn't hear this from me, but Ryan's pissed. He thought she was going to at least try to pay him back. She blocked him on everything." I won't lie. That one made me raise an eyebrow. Apparently, after he bailed her out, she kept spending, didn't change her habits, ghosted him when he brought up eventually paying it forward. He'd burned his relationship to save her, and she'd moved on. His mom tried one more time to reach out through a different number. "I hope you're happy. Ryan is heartbroken. Lily used him and you left him. He has no one." I didn't answer, but in my head I thought, he had someone. He traded her for a chance to be a hero to someone else. That was his choice. Today I'm okay. Better than okay, actually. I have my own place. I've started dating again, slowly, carefully. And my new deal with myself is simple. If someone says we're a team, I need to see it in how they spend time, energy, and money, not just in how they talk about having a good heart. So what do you think? Is what he did just helping someone in need? Or is it a hard deal breaker? Would you stay with a partner who secretly drained your wedding fund to bail out their ex? Does good intentions excuse going behind your back? Let me know in the comments whose side you're on. If you enjoyed this story and want more full Reddit-style relationship drama, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one.